Hi. I've seen various companies, well, one primarily, making jigs for cutting fretboard slots. And I've been doing this with a particular jig I designed a long time ago, well over 20 years. And this is the jig I came up with. Now I've modified it a little bit to do different kinds of things, but the main thing is that it's a sled, and as a sled it goes on a table saw. And I put on these nice long runners to go in the slots of the table saw and be really tight in that fit. And so I put a little bit of wax on here every once in a while just to get it to slide easier. And this was made out of scrap wood. I think this is cherry on the main part. I'm not sure exactly what wood this is. It's a mystery wood. It's dadoed in here and glued so that it's nice and tight. And it has a fence along here, and then it has an inset where I put the block the template for the scale length that I'm using. Now this particular one is 24 5/8 inch scale, and you might be able to see, not sure if that's going to focus, all those little holes drilled. And those holes are drilled precisely at the spots where the frets go. And I use a little brass pin, 1/8 inch diameter, stick it in there and run the fretboards through. You have to make sure that you've got this the same distance to the fence and that the cut on your fretboard is absolutely straight across to make sure this works well. But that's how I did this for a very long time. And with the advent of CNC and plastic templates and things like that, I decided to try doing the same basic thing with one of these templates. Now this happens to come from LMI, Luthiers Mercantile, and is a 650 millimeter on one side and 660 millimeter on the other. I haven't made too many long scale classicals or flamencos, but I've made a few. So this was a way of fairly quickly and easily getting this scale. Now I used the same jig. What I did was I drilled a hole a little bit off of where the circular saw blade is poking up, and I inserted kind of a wedge fit a piece of carbon graphite, carbon fiber, graphite, whatever you want to call it, that has a shape that matches the little notch shapes here on the template. And so the key with this is that you basically stick a piece of ebony or whatever you've got, rosewood, onto this template, and then you go through and putting it in this location, then you go at each point. Now that's fine. I decided to go a little bit better than the double stick tape routine, and I put pins on each side so that the pins hold this fretboard very rigidly. And I use double stick tape at the same time, so it's kind of a way of making sure that you really have a precision tool. So as long as this is in place at exactly the right depth so that it fits these slots perfectly, this tool works very well. So there you've got that. I won't say that this was free to make, because the wood did cost something, but cost a whole lot less than buying a tool to do the same thing. And at the time when I made this, there were no tools available on the open market to do this. So I do believe that this is a more accurate way to go than this with the pins. You can always have the pin go in at an angle and screw you up there. And just making these templates, sometimes the drill wanders a little bit. So I would say that this is, with a true CNC that has exact measurements, this is the more accurate way to go. In that case, you're paying for that template. I have a couple of them. And for the most part, I've been using this on everything I've done in the last, I don't know how long those have been available, but I would guess close to 10 years. So maybe longer. So there you got it.